Right, hello, it's Tony here from Phonostage Records, or Phonostage Audio as you might know us, from the Tinterweb. And yeah, I promised that I'd come back and I would talk to you about the Graham Audio speakers that we've had delivered, which we're very excited about. You know, I am excited. I don't look excited, but I never do. But I am. So we've had two sets of Graham Audio speakers delivered to us. We've got the LS6Fs, which are the floor standing version of the extremely well reviewed and well received LS6, as used in the Royal Opera House and all kinds of other places. You can read about that and I'll point you in some directions. A fantastic speaker by all accounts. This is the sort of the floor standing version, which is aimed a bit more at a domestic market where you're unlikely to sort of sit at a kind of getting away a little bit from that sort of monitoring heritage, which isn't everybody's cup of tea, and you know, more into a sort of a fuller sort of sound suited to more modern music, AV type, maybe AV applications as well, although really two-channel purists might balk at that with the Graham Audio speaker, but that's another conversation. They'd be very capable really in a number of different settings. So so this is the LS6F, and the other one that we've had delivered is the LS59F, which is again is a floor standing, the floor standing version of the very famous LS59, which was a Grade 1 BBC design monitor that has been used all over the world for a number of years. Probably still is in a lot of places. I'm no expert on broadcast equipment from first-hand experience, you know, but I've seen many a picture of those speakers sat individually amplified in studio setups, control room setups, in different kinds of environments. Very, very precise, very accurate, and very desirable to a lot of people. Well, again, the sort of somewhat more domesticated floor standing version of those really. I'm going to just unpack these today, the LS6s. I'm going to get one out of the box. I'm going to get it set up and show you how to attach the pretty solid and serious feeling plinth bass that comes with it. Here's one. Show you this. This weighs a couple of kilograms at least, more. I don't know, I haven't weighed it. So it's very nicely engineered, routed out, and this becomes part of the bass port, which I'll sort of show you about in a little bit really. So we're going to dig it out, show you how to get it out of the box safely. It might not be very elegant, but there you go. Have a look at it, which would be great because we love permanent speakers here, and show you how to attach the bass, and then we'll be revisiting this whole exercise to listen to them further down the line. So let's go. Right, so I have opened one of these already because I don't want to make a mess of this on camera. So we're stood up. We're going to get, oh come on, we're going to get the tape off first and just get the box open at the front. There you go. Okay, now so how are we looking? It'll be lovely if you have a set of these delivered. It's a big box, it feels good. So you can see that it's supported in 3 places. We're going to literally grab this, which is taped on this front piece, but it's also, you know, it is pretty solid. So we're going to sort of grab this. We're going to literally slide the whole thing out rather than sort of roll it out onto the floor, which, you know, I do with some that are just supported at the top and the bottom. So let's try and get the thing out of the box. Okay, get rid of this. Okay, cool. I'll tell you what, leave that there. So what we're going to do now is the best way of getting these off. I'll just turn it around. I'll show you why. The best way of getting them off is to do it upside down, right? And it's because of these. You can't slip the collar past these, and you can't slip this collar off the other way past the front grille. Okay, for making sense, you'll see in a minute. So it's because of this middle collar, if you want to keep it intact. So off with the top piece. Now here you'll see the port. Can you see that? Okay, and this is going to, it's downward firing port, but it becomes a front firing port when we put the plinth on. Okay, so just a sec. Right, then off with the middle piece. Just be careful with this. Try and make sure the polythene is still covering it all. You don't want to be abrading anything. You don't want to be rubbing the corners of your new speaker, okay? Now, before I take the bottom piece off, so I can manoeuvre it around, I'm just going to attach the plinth. Okay. Right, so as I say, as you can see now, so this is the plinth. It comes with this kind of routed out bit there. So that is going to be the front, okay? And it's going to port forwards out, so the plinth is going to go on this way. It's got two locating dowels, so we just locate that in the middle holes there, and we've got a bag of screws over here which are Allen bolts, so we'll put those in, and we're not going to swing from those. We're going to sort of take it easy because we don't want to damage this. There's no need to put these too tight, you know. It's not going to be subject to any lateral forces or anything like that, so we'll take it easy with them, just nip them up, you know, and that will do us. Okay, so let's go. So first, we get the locating dowels in. They're on. This is going to look good. And in the bag, we've got a load of these. These are for bolting the base on. And then we've also got a set of stainless steel spikes. Now, because I'm going to be manoeuvring these around, manoeuvring them into position, I'm not going to put the spikes on until I get the speakers more or less where they're going to go. Then I just sort of tip them up one way a little bit with one hand, screw the spike in, tip them up the other way with the other hand. Because it's really difficult trying to manhandle one of these, or any floor standing speaker, with spikes on the bottom. Some of them, like the totems that I've got over there that you may have seen, I can actually just pick them up. And they're on ball bearings anyway. The bearings roll off when you pick them up and you just put them back under at the other side of the room. But these are pretty heavy. And the 5.9s that I'll be unpacking in another video, in a few days probably, are even heavier. So you're not going to be wanting to heft these things around, bear hugging them and causing damage, if you can avoid it. So save the spikes till later. Let's get these in. We're going to put them in cylinder head style. This is very boring of me, but I don't know if you've had much experience of putting cylinder heads on, but you do it sort of this fashion, and it's to you nip them up a little bit, torque it a different amount each time in a particular crossways pattern, so that you don't put any, so that it doesn't warp the head. It applies the weight evenly all the way down, and this isn't going to warp. I can't imagine. It's a solid looking thing, but I always feel more comfortable if I'm putting the back or a panel on the speaker cabinet, or if I'm putting plinths on. Well, it's quite important if you're putting a driver, like a bass driver, into a cabinet, to sort of try and tighten up the nuts or the screws in a diagonal fashion a bit at a time, because it can prevent distortion to the chassis of the speaker. So, you know, when you get into the habit of doing things like that, it never feels right, tightening up one corner and then tightening up the next corner, then tightening up the next corner. So we'll just try and do it a little bit more. Now just make sure none of these are interfering or cross-threading before going at them with an Allen key. I mean, I always stop my Allen keys that way anyway. I don't really have much torque on that. But it's very easy to cross-thread something with an Allen key, particularly a long Allen key, because there is a bit of leverage to them, isn't there? So that one's got a little bit of an... Let's have a look at this now. Yeah, it's definitely located right, but it feels tight, that, to me. So I'm gonna check that. Yeah, it's definitely in the threads. It's not cross-threading. So I'm gonna... It does feel very tight. I'm gonna take it out and just have a little look at it. I'll have a look at the bolt first. Yeah, it looks good. A little visual inspection here. Might be there's a little bit of swarf there interfering or something. I don't want to take any chances with this. It's too gorgeous, really. Off it comes. Which was the offending screw? Let's have a little look here. Let's just put it in there. Yeah, I'm safe to carry on turning that. There's nothing interfering with that until you get quite far down. So, okay, right. I need to be sure there's nothing in the hole before I start screwing away at it. Am I overcautious, or am I appropriately cautious? This will only take me two seconds, and then we'll flip it over and we'll have a proper look at it. Let's start with this one. Start with this one this time. So I think I've just got some tight threads there. Feels better already. I think it's a perfect storm. If you get a bolt that's a bit tight on the threads, combined with some of the hole that's been tapped out, it's a little bit tight on the threads. It's just like the lottery. It all comes in at once. See, I'm rambling now. It's my speciality. Right, not too tight. I'll just go to the opposite corner now and just nip it up a little bit. I'll do that one, nip it up a little bit. The last corner, Nip it up a little bit. Right, I'm not going to mess with them anymore. I just don't need to, okay? Okay, off with the bag. And we're going to do this way. Okay, I'm going to tilt it over. Let's come off the bottom one anyway, that's nice and easy. Let's have a look at this. Sorry dog, very patient dog, very understanding. Okay, so this is lovely. This is, it certainly looks more chunky and more substantial than, say, let's just have a look at these. These are the, just have a look, just give us one sec. So these are the Totem Hawks. Now these are the slightly larger kind of ones in the range of the Totem speakers. Just give you an idea of scale if you've ever seen these before. These are heavier and they're chunkier, and they just feel more sort of solid on the ground really. I'll be interested, these are part of my comparisons are going to be to listen to different kinds of speakers together, including these. So it'll be interesting to see what I'll come up with. But certainly, you know, that is a sort of chunky looking speaker, and I think it's a great look. The functional aesthetic, get rid of this. Now we can get the grill off, have a look underneath. It's magnetic, the grill. Don't just go tugging at it thinking there's going to be more to go, you know, with clips, you know, those type of things with the ball ends, because you'll just drop this thing to the floor. Just keep hold of it. It's on magnets, it's very cool. And there we go, let's have a look at the grill. See, that's nice. It's got the lovely Chartwell badges. Very old school, like the original Chartwells. Okay, and that goes on nice and firmly, and I'll do like that. But here it is, here's the machine itself. So we're going to take a close look. I'm just going to unclip you from here. Excuse me everyone while I jiggle you around. Figuratively speaking, of course. Okay. Let's moving on in. Let's have a look what we've got here. Now that looks nice to me. Beautiful. It's very kind of BBC-esque to have the sort of the grill and the tweeter there. We've got the filters to the side, which we'll talk about later. A beautiful bass unit. Nice veneer. This is the oak finish. Let's have a bit more of a look at that. It's a nice finish. It's a modern, but it's traditional, I think, at the same time. It's a well-figured finish. I think it looks really good. And that will suit our room, very much so. And on the back, a pair of high quality terminals. Okay. And the lovely Chartwell plaque. And as you can see now that it's assembled, we're porting out the front. Okay. So there you have it. That is the Graham Audio Chartwell LS6F. Now don't forget, there'll be more of these, more about these. There'll be more about the other Graham Audio speakers in the range that we get here, and lots of other things, exposés and features and reviews and unboxing and critiques and all the rest of it. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and like us and subscribe to us on YouTube. And join the social media community, and we'll be hearing from you all soon. That's it. Thank you for now. Bye.